Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to another episode of Jacob Walks Over a Bridge. I'm Jacob, currently walking over a bridge, and this could be my last entry as a boring old Thousandaire, where tomorrow evening I could be a certifiable millionaire. I haven't invested in Dogecoin, no, thank you for asking, but have invested in some New York lotto tickets, almost as volatile as Doge, or GameStop, or AMC, or whatever fun meme stocks you want to trade in. And I trust me, I know the odds are slim, but a boy could dream. And I just dreamed on the Lower East Side. There's always these, I don't know, I guess you call them rumors, but there are conspiracy theories that the further out you go from an urban area, the more likely you are to win the lotto. I don't know, I don't think that's true. I think that while some of it's built up for certain things, I mean, probably not. I think it's all random. I think it's truly random. I think they, at this point, with enough people watching in the internet, they'd be hard pressed to pull something over our heads. But for the conspiracy theory that I was talking about, where if you go further out, that's probably debunked. I remember I saw something really interesting a while back about the lotto and how I think they said that around maybe 20% of people who play, like the Powerball, Mega Millions, those big ones, that 20% of people will put it right in their own numbers. I just do the random, like the rest of the 80% of people who play, but there are 20% of people who do that, and then they show that about 20% of people who win write in their numbers. So that kind of adds up, and I don't think there's a way that they could skew that in any favor, and I think that's a little bit of proof that there are other forces there aren't other forces at work when it comes to picking winners. I think those numbers would be skewed ever so slightly enough that conspiracy would be revealed, the light would shine. But I mean, aside from that, it's very, very difficult, very, very improbable that I'm going to win the lotto tonight. If it does happen and I do win, forget, I was thinking, maybe I've got another season or two at the most in me for this bridge walking stuff, but 30 more years, 30 seasons, it's going to be great. Going to go over the world, every bridge, no bridge left unturned. I will walk them all. I will have the money. Whether or not that's true, who knows? The way that they say inflation's going, maybe I'll have enough for a coach ticket to Detroit. I don't know. Does Detroit have some good bridges? I haven't really looked into it. I thought about doing a sort of, I don't know, would you call Detroit Middle America? It's pretty, it's in the Central Division, all the sports leagues, but it depends which sports league. I'll take that back. But for baseball, the only sports league that matters, Detroit Tigers, because Detroit's known for their large cats. Them and the Lions, of course. Oh my. I almost went on a trip this summer before realizing how expensive hotel rooms are still in this day and age where not many people are traveling, but I was thinking of doing some Amtrak minor league baseball trip, where I had 2 weeks off back this last summer. I was gonna go up to. First, I think I was gonna go to Hartford to see the Yard Goats, because honestly, that's probably one of the best names in baseball. The Yard Goats, best team, best. I would have spent at least $15-20 on some Yard Goat swag. I'll probably, who knows? Could probably make my way up there at some point, as long as they're still a team, as long as they don't contract the minor leagues any further. But it's going to do Hartford, Binghamton. Well, not Binghamton, actually, because Binghamton, I don't think they're on the Amtrak line, but I think I was going to stop them maybe at Syracuse. I was going to try to do Buffalo for, not the Buffalo minor league team, but I was hoping that by the time I'd go there that the Toronto Blue Jays would still be playing in Buffalo, because they were playing in Buffalo because during the stricter travel guidelines that we currently enjoy, travel between the U.S. and Canada was severely limited. So they were playing in Buffalo. I thought it would have been fun to check out a major league team in a minor league park. I thought, I've gone to, a few minor league games here. Lately I've gone to at least one a season with the Cyclones. But when it comes to a major league team playing there, I thought that'd be cute. I guess technically I could just go to spring training and that would be the same thing. Because I don't really understand much of what goes on with the Cactus League, with the West Coast. All I know is that they, in their spring training, that everyone's all really close together. It's not like in Florida in the Grapefruit League where you have teams on opposite ends of the Florida coast. So, for instance, the Mets, who are on the East Coast, I believe, end up only playing the same 4 or 5 teams that are also on the East Coast of the state. I remember looking to see, maybe I can go down and see if they're playing the Yankees in spring training or the Phillies in spring. Nope. They only play the Marlins, the Astros, the Cardinals. Those are really the only ones. I think they might play the Yankees once in some kind of exhibition. They're all exhibition games, but they make an exception for them there, going across the state. But no, it would have been cute to see, Buffalo. And plus, Buffalo is always this mysterious city because, so my dad went to the University of Rochester for undergrad, and I've been to Rochester at least twice now. And he always has some fond memories of the city, of the places he went as a college kid, especially. I've heard so many. He's waxed poetically many times about the wings place he used to go to, and I'll admit, Sal's has a good sauce. When I went there, I wasn't eating meat, or at least the last time I was up there, so I didn't get to try that. Got to try a garbage plate though, and I was, as a 17-year-old, I was thoroughly impressed with what's it called? Nick Tahoe's, what they put on their garbage plate. It's made for people of that demographic, the college kids. Definitely enjoyed that. But he has fond memories. He's been back. He's enjoyed it. I remember he took great pleasure in having the dog when we were there, all together as a family, poop on the quad. But Buffalo is this strange city that my mother went to for undergrad, and she has not been back since the 80s. She has no desire to go back. I've never heard fun stories of going through this. I think she talked about maybe going to Canada a couple times, but never anything exciting or anything interesting about the city of Buffalo. And it seems like it'd be a fun place to go visit. Do I know many of the landmarks in Buffalo? No, I just stepped in ice. It kind of snowed here, but not really. There was like a dusting last night. I don't know where that ice came. There's like I'm on the. Well, I guess there are always signs on bridges that say the bridge ice is over faster. It's like a slush. It's on ice. I don't know. I'm not a meteorologist. Huh. Oh, it looks like there were some ball fields that they've torn up at the. I'm walking from Manhattan to Brooklyn, and on the edge of the Manhattan side by the water, there's a park that looks like they're going to be doing some major renovations on. It'll be interesting to see how that turns out. But no, and then I think I was going to end that trip in like Cleveland. At least that's as far west as I would go. And then I'd circle back through Pittsburgh, then back, or, either through Philly, then New York, or straight back to New York. That would have been a fun 2 weeks. It would have been a lot of money. Even though some of those Amtrak tickets are fairly cheap, the hotels were much more expensive than I thought they would be. Especially in some of the more out there places that people aren't. I guess summertime is their prime season for people to come to the city, but who's itching to go to Buffalo, right? I was, but the hotels were. I guess maybe also there was some just in some city, like if I wanted to stay in Hartford for a night, there aren't that many hotels, and the ones that are there, at least the ones within a decent distance of the ballpark or the Amtrak stop, are just a little too expensive for my taste, especially if I'm going to be doing 2 weeks of hotel stays plus, whatever I'm paying in rent. Maybe I would have avoided having the poop gate scenario if I had gone through and actually pulled the trigger on that's a 2 week adventure. But what's. Oh, did I? Oh, that's just water. I just was looking over my shoulder because I felt something pop there. Or not pop, but just plop. The L. And it was wet, and just had to check to go make sure that it wasn't bird droppings. But nope. Oh. What's that? It looked like poop on the ground, but it was just a cigar. I don't know if that's gross. Cigars are just. Smoking's gross in general. I think anyone who walks while smoking is, or I guess people who do that are some of the most disrespectful people when it comes to respecting other people in just in general respect. I can't begin to say how annoying it is. You either have to, because let's say you're walking behind someone who's walking and smoking, you either have to quicken your pace to walk around them, or you have to fall back enough, distance-wise, so that way you're not inhaling all their secondhand smoke. Granted, the people who just smoke in general, I don't know why you're doing that anymore to yourself. That's, if you haven't stopped already, why are people? I guess it's cool. If everyone's doing. I feel like smoking in this country, we were making really great headway, and then vaping came around, and that just ruined everything. All that progress. Yeah, we'll see what kind of health effects that has 10 years or so down the line. I guess it's a nice day to walk over this bridge. I'm on the Williamsburg Bridge. I don't know if I probably didn't say that. This is the Williamsburg Bridge. It's not that cold. You can say it mostly about any day these days. But, it's maybe like the mid-upper 30s. I'm not shivering when I have my hands out of my pockets, and it's not too uncomfortable. It's not a sunny day. It's very overcast. It's also a Friday, so that's why there may not be so many people, even though it is Christmas Eve. But Lewisburg Bridge was never that crowded whenever I'd walk over. I guess excuse me, I burped. If I had walked down to the Brooklyn Bridge, that would be a real test to see what walking conditions are like, who's braving the elements to go walk. But it's not awful. Not an awful day. I guess it's cold enough for the sniffles. I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to take a chance. I know we've had interesting success with that. But okay, picture's taken, and I did not lose the recording, so success. It's one of the fun parts about the Williamsburg Bridge that the city probably doesn't want to endorse. There's always a whole slew of graffiti all along the walkway. Not so on the bicycle side, which is understandable given that people on bikes aren't stopping or off their bikes when they're on that side. But over here you have a lot of people drawing everything from general tags, messages, statements, things they want everyone to know. It makes it a more unique walking experience. You get a little bit of this when you go on, like, let's say the Queensboro Bridge. You might see maybe one person tagged the sidewalk. I guess with the bikes there, it can be difficult. I don't know. I feel like no one really cares about the Queensboro Bridge enough to tag it. I remember when I was on the Triborough Bridge, I thought it's hilarious that people were putting locks on them, like they do on some of the other bridges in the world. I guess in the city anyway, the Brooklyn Bridge is the most likely to be have a lock on it. But no one really. I guess there's too many people there to safely, as a tagger, tag the floor. There's always a horde of people there. And I have to imagine there's more security and police presence than anywhere on this bridge. Yawning while the train goes by. The J train. Just like me. Oh wow, someone looking up now, so one of the all the way up the top of the bridge. Someone went all the way up there to tag abolish ICE. Don't know how long that's been there. You don't always look up here. Down. Yeah, usually the sight's on the water. See, there's some more graffiti up there, all the steel beams. People are gonna do what people are gonna do. I guess, I'm mentioning all the graffiti. You could tell that the city at least either power washes or paints over, because the floor, even though it is wet, it seems a little glossier. I don't know if it's paint or not. If they painted like a definitely seems like a different material than regular sidewalk. Yeah, I've got, this is my Christmas vacation, and really not much planned. I might try to meet up with my sister a couple times, maybe with other friends, do other things, but no solid plans as of today, the first day. Even this block, I was kind of ambling along. I knew that, going back for the original reason I or the regional topic for Lotto. So keeping in mind that there is the conspiracy theory that, the further out you go, the better chances you have. I walked from my very centrally located Hell's Kitchen apartment to the Lower East Side to pick up a ticket at some random dollar store. Or I guess nothing's a dollar store anymore. What might have formerly been a 99-cent store, but now it's just a convenience discount store. Picked up some numbers, pooled with some coworkers, so I won't get the full jackpot or whatever after taxes it comes out to. So split it a couple ways, but I think I can manage with whatever I get from that. But that was the only plan I had for today to do anything, was just to go out and do that. In general, the Lotto, I have 2 designated days that I say, okay, I'll buy Lotto tickets these days, just so that way I'm not buying them whenever I go out to do laundry, like I may have done when I first started living in the city. Not every time I did laundry, but it was more than probably I should have been playing. It was never a lot. Like I put in a couple dollars each time, never a crazy amount, and I had better luck than I probably had any reason to have, but I gave myself 2 days just to be like, okay, I can gamble, and I don't even put that much in generally. I think I might go crazy this time and do $20 in scratch off tickets. That's going crazy for me, and I know other people have much higher limits that they set for themselves, but it's best to not gamble away everything that I own. But no, going out. I haven't bought the scratch-off tickets yet. I just bought the Lotto, the Powerball tickets, and then maybe now that I'm in Brooklyn or Queens, I'll buy some more. I'm probably going to walk through Queens. But I really have no idea where I'm going at this point. I'm just going to go with the flow, go wherever my feet take me. Maybe I'll find YMCA to drop into the P at some point. That's the bad thing about where I am. And I wanted to join the Y because they had racquetball. And I wouldn't say that's the only reason. I like having a gym with more than just workout machines. But to get that Y membership in the Upper West Side, I had to get a all of NYC pass, which it's a little ridiculous because let's say I lived in Brooklyn. I wanted to join one of the Ys in Brooklyn. They had 2 options. You could either buy the all New York City pass, or you could just get one for that location only for cheaper. And they don't offer that in Manhattan. You have to go for all or nothing. I guess the Y on top of Barnes and Noble and whatever else has the restaurant. They go 2 spots to keep. I don't know. I have no, when I get to the bottom of this bridge, which is coming up, I really don't know what I'm doing. I could go anywhere. It's a big city out there. Currently what I'm probably going to do is, once I get off this bridge, I will, what time is it? It's 11:16, so maybe what I'll do, I'll find a place to get a slice just to get something, a nosh, quick, because if I wait too long, I'm going to get more hungry. So I'll find a slice place that's open, grab a slice. It's Williamsburg, and we got to get pizza somewhere. And then I'll walk the rest of the way to Queens, and maybe over the Queensboro Bridge. Maybe not the most exciting walk, but I could also theoretically go south, and then take one of the other bridges back over. But who knows? I'm bored. I'm just gonna walk. I remember at the beginning of this year, 2021, I thought I was gonna walk. The first week off I had in January, I thought I was gonna go walk 100 miles. And I think I went 2 or 3 days before I got hurt. I'm going to try to avoid that this time. I'm wearing better shoes, and I wouldn't say my goals are more realistic, but maybe I'll just take it a little more slowly. And we'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting time. I'm sure I'll do a couple more of these episodes as the days go on, and maybe I'll probably towards the end of, I guess it is towards the end of the year already, but closer to the 31st, I probably will cap the season and call it a season 3, the books. Gonna try to salvage whatever remains of what this pitiful season was. But on that note, I'm at the end, and you know what that means. It's time for me to say good day and good night.